Space Mutiny. Space, bitch, I'm space handling it.
Space Mutiny. Looks like B-Movie Support Group got some coal in their stocking this year.
Space Mutiny.
We can't explain what causes us to subject ourselves to such poorly made,
brain-damaging, schlock value entertainment on purpose for our own amusement.
All we can do is support each other.
Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg. Batmobile lost its wheel, and Joker got away. Hey!
Hey guys,
Hey, William?
I'm here to ruin Christmas.
No. No!
Yes.
Sie haben Star Wars gesehen. Sie haben Star Trek gesehen. Und jetzt kommt ein neues Weltraumabenteuer zu Ihnen. Der Cameron Mitchell.
Jetzt ist die Zeit gekommen.
Ich möchte Ihnen gern was zeigen.
Oh nein.
Kamera auf Ziel eingestellt.
Im Weltraum gibt es keinen Ausweg.
Good.
Hey, so
It
Space
was
Mutiny.
bound to happen. We got to Space Mutiny.
We did,
Finally.
but I wanted to get to Space Mutiny. To be honest, that's the whole joke of us not doing it. This is a notoriously great bad movie, and that's what we kind of. I mean, it's the holidays. You're supposed to do something festive and happy, so why not? Cameron Mitchell.
So why are we doing Space Mutiny again?
Because it's supposed to be insanely entertaining, according to everywhere I've ever read.
Not supposed to. It is.
Guidance system failing.
Lost power! Lost power!
Yes. It
That's
is
right.
A laugh a minute.
Because you have the experience before all of us, you actually got to see part of it.
Before Mystery Science Theater 3000 introduced it to the rest of the world, it was on cable, maybe like Saturday afternoon movie of the week type of thing, and it was just so terrible. But what struck me was the cheapness of the reused footage from Battlestar Galactica, the TV show.
Yeah.
And the great thing about this movie is that you would expect them, okay, they saved a whole bunch of money not doing their own special effects, their own practical effects, so maybe the rest of the movie looks good, but it doesn't.
Right, and could I have your space status card, please? Thank you.
The enormous Southern Sun spacecraft, they should have said the enormous spacecraft, comma, Southern Sun, faces destruction from within when the evil Calgan, John Philip Law, and his men take control through a violent and explosive mutiny. Period. Calgan's plan, scrap the ship and sell the passengers into slavery. Only one man, Red Brown, has the strength and courage to lead the fight against Calgon's rebels.
Yeah, naturally.
Armed with laser cannons and Newton grenades. It's split right there. Newton grenades. It's like a Newton Gree.
Is that Newton or is it Newton?
It's a hyphenated grenade.
No, it's Newton, but grenades.
Grenades.
He leads the commander's daughter, and a handful of soldiers into a blasting battle against Calgon and his powerful forces.
Is that for real?
It's because we have, unfortunately, they photoshopped Joe Cylon right over the paragraph, so we have all those hyphenated words there.
They could have moved that ship barely at all and had plenty of room for the words.
Yeah. The ship didn't need to be there.
So, how excited are you guys for this movie?
I'm at like a 12 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm 12.
Alright, so Space Mutiny, there is nowhere to hide from the enemy within.
In space.
In space. So as we can see from the cover here, we have a man with a helmet shooting a laser with, I guess he's got his little scope there that looks just like a regular steel barrel.
And this is the way you want to hold your gun whenever you're shooting it, right in front of your face.
Yeah.
And with your arm bent in front of you.
And don't use the
That is
scope. I
proper
mean, they're
marksmanship.
not there for any good reason anyway.
He looks bored shooting too.
Well,
like he's
I
not
know.
even. He's just.
Yeah.
It could be the future, but they usually don't put a scope on a pistol too many times.
And yeah, with a laser, I mean, do you really need it?
Yeah.
'Cause you can just spray it all around and it'll burn
Just
everything
spray it
in its
everywhere.
path. So if we go to the back here,
So we've got Apollo and Starbuck on the. Oh, sorry.
Don't get your hopes up, man. It ain't Battlestar.
So it says
Not even
here
reboot, though.
that we have breathtaking special effects from the team that brought you Star Wars.
Who of that team we don't know.
Right.
We actually tried to find who of the team in Star Wars worked on Star Wars and Space Mutiny. That
We
wasn't easy
cross-referenced
information.
IMDb and several Encyclopedia Britannicas and just didn't compute.
And it's 93 minutes of, I'm sure, just good old-fashioned fun.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Fuck you.
We're going to hold out here and never let them take over the Southern Sun. Let's get out there and kick some ass!
Oh, they cut him off before he freaked out again.
It's high-pitched. Yeah.
Space Mutiny is a dumpster fire of a movie. Yeah. This is, people got together and said, let's make science fiction because science fiction is something people will pay to see.
And it's popular in the 88.
Yeah. And with all the revolutions in revolutionary sci-fi special effects and ways of filmmaking and movie making, it's like, yeah, let's do a science, it'll be easy. Let's do a science fiction film.
Well,
and they found out it was a little bit harder than they originally thought.
Oh, token nerd's gonna die.
This is a keyboard glue.
Give me an audio-video link of Bridge to Console 7. Please hurry.
But that's what may be bad. It may have been easy, and they didn't realize it was supposed to be hard to get it right.
That's true.
Do you think? Do you think these people actually thought that this was going to be a good movie as they were making it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like they cut a scene and it's like, good job, people.
Yeah.
That was the winner right there.
I think they watched this pre-effects and were like, "Good."
Pre-effects and pre-editing.
Yeah.
Because you can't, when you're from an actor's point of view or even a screenwriter's point of view, when you're acting, not the movie, you're like, okay, I gave it my best. Let's see what they do with this scene in editing and post-production.
Oh, nothing.
And then, yeah, with this movie, it probably just makes you want to, like, why did I be in this movie? Why?
This movie seems like it was a career ender for everybody involved.
Except Cameron Mitchell.
Yeah.
Very perilous for everyone on board. We do not make wild accusations, so we keep this top classified secret.
We keep this top classified secret.
So basic plot, because it is basic.
Yes, basic plot. Well, first, I don't know. Do we need any more background on this movie? It's a famous B movie. It's it's up there in a class. As B movies go, Space Mutiny is up there in a class with like Monos, Hands of Fate, or Troll 2.
Yeah.
Or Robot Jocks, where it's so watchable and for the entertainment of watching it.
Yeah.
Not the story that's being told, but the experience of watching the movie and commenting as things are going on.
To put it in perspective, like we just watched Slipstream, and Slipstream was one of these movies that even if we were to watch it again, like I would turn it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I can't watch this again. This is bad. This movie, I could seriously I could be sitting and doing nothing one day and just turn it on.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Don't swing your arms when you're bro, you douche.
What
Look at
is
his
that
mohawk.
Was that like a last minute decision? We're like, give me some hair gel for this guy real quick.
And like Slipstream, this movie has no story to make up for its lack of special effects, but it's just such a train wreck of an assemblage of footage that it's so entertaining. And where do we begin? Okay, so there's a ship, not the Battlestar Galactica.
Even though at one point it clearly said Galactica
Yes.
on the side of the ship.
Yes. We don't know which way is the front of the ship because we're introduced to it flying backwards towards the camera.
It's flying backwards.
Oh, no! I thought it would be a little bit more discreet.
That's so blatant.
Like the Battlestar Galactica, it's a colony ship. There's several generations of humans living on the ship. They are traveling 10 light years from point A to point B. And there's no faster than light, there's no tesseract, there's no nothing. They're just on impulse power, puttering along. And so there's a battle with space pirates. For some reason, there's a shuttle that lands carrying ladies. And then there's another ship that lands carrying our hero. And some other guy we
Professor
never...
Spooner.
Well, Spooner didn't make
Yeah, we never
But
even
he was
see.
on the ship.
They didn't even bother to have an actor portray him like in the back seat.
Yeah.
Are
What's
we gonna
going
land?
on, Ryder?
Are we landing soon?
Yeah.
Are we there yet? I have to use the bathroom. None of that.
I didn't get my peanuts.
Meanwhile, the bad guy is sabotaging the automatic flight landing system because without the automatic flight landing system,
Yeah, people are incapable of landing
yeah.
things on their own.
according to the
Even
graphics,
though they are already
yeah.
inside of the corridor.
Yeah. Picture the Galactica where the ship flies through the tube. They're halfway through the tube. All you have to do is stop.
He's in the shuttle bay, right? He can't just like put his brakes on.
And so the mystery is who sabotaged. That's our plot. At first it's who sabotaged the flight.
Which we got
system.
to see.
Yeah, we know
but
that.
the
already.
people on the ship didn't.
So the drama is how will the people of the ship find this out, even though we've seen everything.
And then they find out.
And then they find out. And then they fight some, and then they don't fight, and then they fight some more.
Well, they keep
and
going
then
back
they
to
kidnap
the bridge
some
because
people.
There's some romance on AstroTurf.
There's some romance in the hydroponics bay. And
then they see the guy's frozen bodies in the other hydroponics
yeah,
bay.
yeah. And the creepy morgue on the ship. Kind of morgue because they're not dead. They're being kept for interrogation. Right?
Well, no, they were dead.
They
That
were
was his
dead.
personal collection of bodies.
Oh, I see. Okay.
When Caliban is convinced they're of no longer use, he simply has them ejected into space. However, if they seem redeemable, Caliban freezes them.
That means all the enforcers are corrupt.
I thought they were just being frozen. Like, I'll get back to interrogating you later. I'll put you on ice until then.
Well, maybe. They
But
can
anyway,
explain it.
they went out like Frankie and Goodfellas.
Whoa! What is he doing in there?
Sorry, these are my wives and husbands.
What?
That's weird.
That has to be so painful for those actors who are just
Yeah.
wrapped up in plastic wrap for probably 10 hours.
Yeah.
Well, we're in a bit of a hurry.
Can we just take one of these and go?
There was some dancing and some gunplay and bumper cars.
Yeah.
And more bumper cars?
And really, there's no like the plot is this guy Calgon wants to go live on a planet, not the planet they're going to, but he's impatient. He wants to get on a different
A
planet.
closer one. That
Closer
was in
planet.
the
It's in Pirate
Corona
Land.
Limelight Nebula.
The constellation.
The Southern Sun could recolonize one of the planets of the constellation, or be redispersed as slave labor.
It's not how constellations work, but it's pirate territory, and pirates have Battlestar Galactica Cylon base stars,
Right.
which they on their way to the detour, Cameron Mitchell just pushes one button and blows up a base star, and that was done. He pushes another button,
The same button.
and again and blows up another base star.
Fire 2.
For some reason, Calgon kidnaps the daughter of the commander, of Cameron Mitchell, for some nefarious purpose.
Calgon's like, well, if I abduct Space Bitch, then then he'll whatever and whatever.
Come on, the message coming through on channel 16.
Everyone, this movie's so tired.
I don't think they ever stopped filming.
They did the whole movie in a day.
Yeah.
You have 12 hours.
That's his daughter.
Whoa! Holy shit!
I know, when he pulled her up, I started laughing, but that must have been better. Shoving her back down there.
So there's a big fight in the factory part of the ship, which is every part of the ship, and the good guys win.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward.
Calgon is up against a valve at the end, and he's really angry that he has third-degree burns.
And it took a long time for the camera to move and pan into him.
Yeah, as the audience, we knew. It's like, okay, it's Calgon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
any
he's
successful
gonna open his eyes any minute now.
filmmaker.
It's not a surprise. Just let it happen.
Yeah. And like any successful filmmakers, they knew they had a hit on their hands, and that sequels were guaranteed, so they left it open. And we never saw the sequel, sadly. Sadly, the budget was too scanty.
I'm sorry the information is so scanty, but I'll send you up more as I get it. Blake out.
I'm gonna say, this movie totally wins its place as one of the best bad movies ever. I mean, there are a lot of bad movies. I know before we talked about like Project Nightmare, and even when we watched Vampires, there's these spots where it's boring. And admittedly, you're like, okay. I never felt that in Space Mutiny. Every second of this film, I was entertained by something.
It was a disaster. Like every second of this movie was a disaster in a way that we could enjoy.
Yeah, like when they got away from Calgon and they thought he was dead, Space Bitch and Ryder are she got called Space Bitch.
That's
okay?
no joke. William is not making that up. That's literally a line. In the
Just
film.
trying to go along with the movie.
Yeah.
But her and Ryder are talking in a hallway, and there's the same two dudes, one guy with a mustache and a clipboard, and another guy without a mustache or a clipboard, just passing them in the hallway, like scooting past them because they're taking up the whole hallway because of slab of meat Ryder taking up the whole thing with his 8-foot wide shoulders.
Forgot something.
Of course I am. I like
That's not
you.
Gotta straighten your wife beater.
On your left. On your left. All right.
The hallway that
ended
is part of the set, and the set ends, and then we just see 2x4.
Yeah.
It's just two guys. One guy without a clipboard, one guy with a clipboard.
They also did not paint that 2x4.
No, they didn't.
It's just there.
They reached the end of the set.
Yeah, that's the
Didn't expect
end.
to go this far
Yeah.
with the walking.
Oh my god!
I need to mention where they filmed this movie. And especially because I'm now convinced that J.J. Abrams ripped off this idea for first reboot Star Trek. Where all of engineering is in like the Budweiser factory, and there's vats of things somewhere all over the place for no reason. And it's like, yeah, they literally did go to a Budweiser factory and film that scene to make it look all engineering, and there's tubes and things everywhere. So here on board the Starship Southern Sun, we're in a factory, but they make no attempt. Like, there's windows with sunlight streaming through. Like, are we supposed to guess that those are just it's like a wall of light?
So,
or is it exposed for?
I IMDb'd that particular point, and this is according to IMDb, but they put orange light filters on them. The cinematographer did, but they never communicated that to the developers. So when the developers got it, they go, "Why is the light through the windows orange?"
Where was this filmed? In space?
Yeah, and they color corrected it back.
That is so awesome that they wasted money on color correction that they could have spent on the cardboard sets.
Because no one, well, and it would have worked because it was supposed to be like that's part of the engine core is the orange, and it may have worked, but
yeah.
no one took the 2 seconds to
But
get
no,
on the
it's-
phone or
no.
put a sticky note on the fucking film and be like, don't change the color on the window.
Even with that, though, there's still clearly panes of glass.
Oh yeah,
on a wall. It's
everywhere.
just and there's They're in some kind of waste reclamation plant or water treatment plant because there's pipes and tubes and things everywhere, and catwalks. And a guy dies in a catwalk, and people fall off catwalks.
There's an industrial spillage chamber where another guy gets lit on fire. Cracked concrete, which I thought was great.
Yes,
and that guy
on a
was leaning in
spaceship.
that little thing. Cracked concrete on a spaceship. The part where Space Bitch and Ryder were fighting the guys in that little tiny rumpus room with the sacks of stuff and everything.
Yes.
And I don't know if anyone else saw this. I'm sorry I screamed about it because it made me laugh so much inside that it just had to come outside.
Box room.
No! Part of the set fell in the back.
And part of the wall falls and goes back and then falls down. And the way it looked like there was a set guy who caught it because it kind of fell and then came back up.
That's what that's the key grip. Oh god, look at that!
Oh shit!
No, because literally, the sets are cardboard, construction paper, buttons, little fancy little light bulbs. Nothing blinks though, really. It just kind of glows. And people have Apple IIs and Commodore 64 keyboards all over the place.
Well, I don't know if you saw how bad it was, but remember when Space Bitch was I can't get tired of saying that. Remember when Space Bitch was seducing the guy, right? And he's like leaning on that console. It's a wooden console. They cut out parts and they just slid monitors in.
Yeah.
The bottom mount of the monitors is clearly visible. Well, here's another thing about Space Bitch, though. On this particular cover, it says not rated, but this is from a scan of the VHS cover. So this is a sticker from someone's shop.
Yeah, I was wondering
yeah,
about that.
Online, I think this is listed as PG, but there is straight up nipple.
Oh, I know.
Straight up nipple.
Haven't found it.
Yeah,
Haven't
there
found
is.
the nipple.
There is nipple indeed.
Space Bitch's nipple.
You know what you should do? You should do a tiny
Is
cut
that-
of Kevin's
is that a
face
full
to
nipple?
cover it.
That is. That'd be so fucking.
While we're on the subject of Space Bitch, let's talk about casting.
Yes.
Space Bitch is thought to be the daughter of Cameron Mitchell, who is an old man in the movie.
Admittedly, she's in her 40s.
But she is not, like, the role was meant for a 22-year-old
Yes.
actress. Not, all due respect, sure it was really exciting for you to get cast as the female lead in this movie, but sorry.
Oh yeah.
And not to insult her looks or anything. I bet she was probably a regularly attractive woman, honestly, but not in what they put her in.
No.
She was not made for a leotard and pancake makeup.
Not with the blue tinfoil and
No, and the
everything.
purple eyeshadow and the frizzed out hair.
And the shoulder pads. Can we talk about shoulder pads in this movie?
Please no.
Dude, Vulcans are jealous of these shoulder pads.
Yes.
Some of them come out to here.
Because 80s.
And they all sparkle. They all have that dual luminescent foiling.
Yeah, and it was in that time where they thought that, okay, this is what we think space age things would be, without actually thinking about practicality.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There is no reason to have spacesuits like that. There's no reason to have your crew members half naked.
Yeah, there are literally like bridge officers with the milky thigh leotards, the unitard.
Yeah.
And there's no practical reason for a ladder on a 2-foot go-kart.
He looks concerned.
There they go.
There they go. Wait.
That one cart in the only aisleway.
Yes!
Another sponsor!
She uses
Another
chase scene. She fits perfectly back there.
Oh my god.
Is there a little seat?
Oh my god.
There's a little blinky light.
Buckle up!
It's like bumper car chase scene.
Mr. Thomas.
No one can know. Oh, there you are.
Gotta put your visor on.
You don't want the slipstream getting in your face here.
Look at the cage on them, like rattling.
They're like little K9 mobiles.
I'm sorry, Enforcer?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
And we know it went up to at least Enforcer 7.
Yes.
Because we saw Enforcer
7.
1, 6, and 7.
And
No.
4.
Did we see 4?
Yeah, 7 switched between 4 and 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But really,
Oh,
Calgon,
continuity.
part of his evil plan was to rip the cheap-ass decals off and switch the numbers anyway. So
So moving on to what Kevin just said, continuity. We need to talk about continuity in this movie because the sheer lack of continuity is one of the greatest things. A lady gets brutally murdered by Calgon, and no joke, in the next cut. The next cut. There's not even like she died, and then there's a talking scene, and then the bridge. No. She gets murdered, bridge, and there she is typing.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about the plot, but there was apparently a subplot
Yes,
with the Sisters of Khan.
Vagarians? What are they called?
The Valerians.
Valerians.
Because they were the passengers on the shuttle that landed safely at the beginning of the movie before the explosion.
And they were there to seduce the bad guys and send visions to the good guys.
And yeah, and that's the subplot you're talking about. Is they go to Cameron Mitchell, and one girl like gives him a handy while telling him that the people on the ship no longer know the difference between light and dark, and that is the end of the subplot.
Yeah.
I may have shat myself.
No.
No. No. No.
Okay. That was really close, guys.
Crisis averted.
You didn't tell me this was a horror.
This was the soberest we'd ever seen him.
And he does nothing in the movie except walk around, and he gets he gets played with by the lady for a little bit.
Yeah,
and
the
sparks fly.
And he
Valerian.
seemed like so just out of energy, like he was about to pass out. And there was that one scene where he's talking, and he's like,
he starts
war
yeah.
turns people, I don't know, maybe.
I just,
straight up says that.
So many good lives wasted. War always brings out the worst in man. I don't know. Maybe I feel that I failed.
You get the Cameron Mitchell, either Deadly Prey, Terror in Beverly Hills, Hollywood cop Cameron Mitchell, or he's just off his nut, angry cop, drunk on set, yelling and screaming at people. Then there's Low Blow, Space Mutiny, Cameron Mitchell, where he's just there.
Yeah.
Like, this is where Cameron's going to sit today. Point the camera at him. Point the camera at him.
Well, David, good luck.
Favorite part of the film?
What? The nipple.
The nipple? Just because it was so unexpected, or just because it was a nipple?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get to see them very often. I'm going to say it before you guys do. The end fight scene with the two enforcers, and the main character just screams, "Ow!"
Oh my god!
And he jumps out, but there was enough time for the bad guy to realize, like, oh, he's jumping out. I could jump out too, or maybe turn slightly to the left.
But so he goes
and completely avoid this.
These bumper cars have been hitting each other, and literally they repeat the shot over and over of these cars smashing into each other. No explosion, no, like, there's sparks that could, like, hit the gas tank maybe. But then all of a sudden he just knows if he leaves the enforcer and it runs into Calgon, it's going to blow up. My favorite scene is the fact that they love their booze on this ship. It's not any, I should preface, it's not any one scene. It's just anytime there's something to celebrate, it's martinis and apple-tinis.
We should change electricities every day.
It's not even something to celebrate. Like, they make reasons. Like, hey, this guy was announced the new flight commander. Let's party.
Cheers.
Like, hey, we just found out who the bad guy is. Let's party.
Yeah. We just got through a space battle where only 2 people died. Let's party. It's just so ludicrous, and I don't know exactly what the impetus for that was. Do we need to have something other? Is it for different visuals? Like, we need something other than battles and cardboard? We just, hey, these people have a social life too.
It's the 80s.
We got to make sure we show that.
Yeah. So I hear.
it's hard for me to pin down a favorite scene. It really is, because there's so many in here that I like equally. But I have to say, as far as enjoyment for how long it lasted, when they were talking in the hallway and it got to the physical end of the hallway and how long we got to see the actual, like, behind the scenes part of the physical scene.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made me enjoy that part so much, is because it held on it so long. Like, the cameraman and the director had plenty of opportunity during that conversation to even have Ryder just fake being like, well, come back here and talk to me. No, and they didn't. Well, that's what made me love that scene. It's because it was like, you could see the foam core board. Like, you could actually see the double layer where they had the painted portion and then the white portion, like, glued together, and then the boards attached to it. Like, you could see the physics, like, how they built the set. You could see it. Yeah. And it was almost like watching a behind the scenes without having to sit through 2 hours of behind the scenes.
So, Kevin, would you recommend Space Mutiny to your friends to watch for fun?
Okay, I'm kind of torn on this, okay, because this movie, don't look at me like that. This movie was so bad and just so, everything about it was just what is wrong with movie making, which makes it an enjoyable movie to watch, but in order to watch it, you have to support the people that made this horrible thing. So, I would, I don't know. Yes, no, I say no. I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be the only person
Dissenter again.
that says no to this movie.
That's
legit. Because there are other horrible movies that are more enjoyable than this. I know that this movie is notoriously bad, and it's on whatever list of the top 10 worst best movies, best worst movies. But I don't know, like the scenes, like I laughed, like I enjoyed many parts of this movie, but I also hate this movie. It's a love-hate relationship.
Okay, that's fair. No, that was well explained and fair. I don't agree, but I see where you're coming from.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I think there's enough in this movie to be entertained. It's definitely rewatchable. There's so many quotable lines. Reb Brown has this awkward, high-pitched scream that it just doesn't fit his bulky physique. The guy's like Dolph Lundgren in Rocky IV, but he's
Yeah, I think
Son of a bitch!
I think half of his lines were just high-pitched screaming.
Right.
Yeah.
Shit!
Yeah.
Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch!
And just the fact that I think I said earlier, this movie is a train wreck. It's just so dysfunctional from start to finish, from the screenwriting to the execution of the filming and to the editing, post-production. Everybody was like, nothing matched. It's just so great, and it's just such a wonderful experience. I love it.
Complete recommendation from me, 100%. I was never bored. Vampires was great. We loved it, but it had boring moments. This was just as great, had the same kinds of moments, but I was not bored at any moment. I enjoyed every minute. Being a Cameron Mitchell fan, seeing his weird stuff online, and then coming and seeing him like calm and collected was great. And then just sedated, yes. And it was one of those movies where, like, if failure could be a puzzle that you could put together well, they did it. They took that 100-piece puzzle of shitstorm, like you said, and just like,
It's seriously, it's lightning in a bottle. It just it just all came together at the end in this big amalgamation of crap.
Yeah.
But it's great.
Well, you could see it in the movie, and then even the IMDb stuff that me and Kevin were looking at before the movie, we saw not only was there no continuity in the editing, there was no continuity in the production of the film.
The director had to leave before filming started because of a death in the family, and he's like, I'm going to give it to the co-director here, or the assistant director, and and then the assistant director's like, I don't know what I'm doing, so just do your job.
He looked at the camera and was like, what are you?
Some sort of weird typewriter?
I think we need some more high-pitched screaming.
Yeah.
Yes!
Love it. Oh
That was better than the sapling explosion.
Yes.
Oh! Good job, Ryder.
Fuck you, Calgon.
So classy.
They say I'm a fool because I believe I know enough to know I can dream the way